Hey guys, Big Hub here. Stretching my legs this morning, stretching my legs. Yeah, we're waiting on a load to get out. We've been picked up a load. Well, y'all know. First load he picked up in South Carolina, then he came pick me up in Mountain City, and we took it to El Paso where we T-called it. And then we picked up a load, brought it back to New Bern, North Carolina. That's where we are now. We dropped that off last night and got our empty, and we're at a little rest area now, waiting on a load from our DM. See where we're going next out of this part of North Carolina. So it's been an interesting first 4 days in the truck. Let's see, a total of 3,800 miles between the two of us. 3,800 something. I've got 23 something. I can't ever remember all the numbers, but I've got 23 something. So waiting on a load. So instead of sitting in the truck, getting stove up with my back hurting and my knees and my legs aching because I hadn't moved, I thought it's a good idea to get out and move. So remember that. Advice from a new trucker. If you're sitting waiting on something, get out of the daggum truck and walk around. We were talking about how people try to park the closest as they can at the truck stop to the place, and at a rest stop they park as close as they can. Now, from a safety standpoint, I get that. But Lord knows, I don't get out and move very much, so I really don't mind walking across the parking lot. I mean, right now, I was sitting in the truck. I said, I'm getting out. I'm not sitting here. So I'm just walking around, so you get to look at me bounce. But anyway, we got 2,300 miles, 38 total, waiting on a load to get out of here. Some interesting things. Man, I tell you what, I never seen that part of the country except out of an airplane. I've been in the fly to San Diego. Well, you see the city because you're in the city, but driving around out in the desert area is just unbelievable. It's absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. So, wish I could capture more of the scenery, but right now I can't while I'm driving. So, anyhow, it's been a good 4 days. I've done pretty good getting my time in. Last night I got my 8 in. Stopped here at the rest stop because I had like 3 minutes, and the rest stop's just right across the street, or right across the freeway, on the other side of the freeway from our location. And but I was afraid I'd get in there and get stuck at the gate or something, and my time run out. So pulled in over here at the rest area, sat for 30 minutes, then went over there and dropped our load, waited on them to empty out our empty, and picked that up and came back over here and spent the night. Nice little place. I mean, one thing I found is, I may be new to trucking, but I ain't new to life. I'm old. Knocked 50 this year. It's all about people. It's all about people. In this business, how many people do you run into a day? Now, I know you're in the truck all the time, but when you get out of the truck, you run into shippers, receivers. You run into people in the truck stop. They're everywhere. Here at the rest area, run into people. So I come in here this place. These places aren't always very nice. This one is clean as can be. I mean, it's real nice. I went in there and did my business, but I went back in there and shaved and brushed my teeth. I wouldn't do that just anywhere. But there's this young fella in there with his uniform on, standing next to the cleaning cart. He's the one taking care of the place. He's standing there staring out the window all alone, like he's got this boring, horrible life. I said, good morning. I said, you sure do keep a nice place here. I appreciate your hard work. And he smiled and said, good morning and thank you. So, y'all know me from my previous attempt at this. I talk about the people a lot because I like them. Most of them anyway. But it's been fun. I'm walking around the driveway now for the cars coming in, so had a couple pickup trucks come by. I wave. We're in North Carolina, we can do that. We wave to each other. But I'm taking the long way around the track. Not moving fast, but my knees are moving. My hips are moving. I guess that's making my lungs work a little bit so I can talk. Anyway, it was a really good first 4 days. I'm tired, but I enjoyed it. I held up pretty good. My back held up. My brain held up. Tell you what I figured out last night. It's really the first time I've had to do this because we're team driving. There hadn't been, any backing yet, really. Well, I had to drop that load, so I had to back it in there at the receiver. And it wasn't a tough back. I mean, I know I hadn't done it in 4 or 5 years, but I can put that thing in there. It wasn't tough. Hole wasn't too small. There's enough room. I couldn't pull up and do a real good 45, but there was enough room for me to maneuver. But I'm in an automatic. I remember hearing somebody on one of these videos talk about it, but I didn't pay that close attention to it. Oh man. I put it in reverse and started to back up, and that thing started jumping all over the place. It was like I didn't have a clue about how to drive a truck. So, that's next. I feel real comfortable back in the seat driving on the road. Last night we got turned around. GPS got us turned around in the dark, and it was weird foggy over here. This fog that sat about 3 feet off the ground, just like a blanket. It's really cool looking, spooky, but cool. But so I had, my first time back in, tight driving around little roads and through town and whatnot, and I managed that pretty good. I was comfortable with that. So I'm comfortable moving around in the truck stops and taking my wide turns and making sure my off tracking ain't gonna cause any damage to anybody or anything. So I felt good about it. Right now, if you ask me to back this trailer in between two trailers that was a tight fit and that thing's jumping around, I'm gonna beat the you-know-what out of the one on the left, the one on the right, and the one that I'm driving. So I got to figure out how to get my lead foot to be real easy. So we'll work on that. We'll work on that next. Other than that, I kind of miss the family, which is always an issue, but that's okay. They're doing good. We got FaceTime and phones and chat and everything. And Little Hub just texted me a while ago, sent me a text saying he starts class today, CDL class, and he's nervous. I said, yeah, I understand, but you got it. Yeah, he gets nervous, so I miss that because as much as I want to be out here on the road getting my experience, so when he comes out, I'm good to go. Not to mention making the money. Yeah, I wanted to be there with him. I know he's my oldest and he's 21, and you don't want to coddle him. He's a big boy. He'll be all right. He'll be better. He'll be better than I am, because I'll worry and stress over it because he's my boy. So I made about a half a lap now. I guess I can use this video to how long I've walked. I'm bumping on 10 minutes here of just gibberish. I'm sorry. But it's been a while. So we'll get this load. I'll learn to back this automatic. And then I'll be ready to go. I don't feel like I need 300 hours right now. I don't mean that arrogant, but I feel real comfortable in the truck. And I'm not fresh out of school. I did have a little bit of experience, so it's like riding a bike, I guess. I feel good in it. But if it's 300 hours, it's 300 hours. I'm gonna practice a heck of a lot of backing in that 300 hours if I can. But and we'll make as much money as we can make, because that's the name of the game. We got to run. As Red Viking Trucker says, I'm gonna run my face off. Gonna run my face off. So there you go. We'll get our load, head out. I'll give y'all an update on what's going on. Hopefully I can start getting some pictures, some video on the road. We'll see. If not, we'll wait till I get in my own truck and we'll go from there. Sounds good. Yeah. Welcome to North Carolina, folks. All right. I'm out of here. I'm gonna keep walking though. I know y'all are tired of watching me bounce and listen to me jibber jabber. So y'all stay safe and hey, do a good day's work and act like somebody.